Last up here, we have Rollerdrome. This came out on the PS5 as a PlayStation exclusive, console exclusive, and it's on PC as well. PS5, it's got a 79, and PC, it's got an 80. Now, Justin, I have played and completed Rollerdrome.
Oh, and completed. How long is it?
It's not that long. It's like $20.
Okay.
It was like 5 or 6 hours. You could get a lot more out of it because there's like a lot of like in-game challenges, and there's like a secondary like harder New Game Plus mode. And there's like an online component where like your score like gets put on a leaderboard and stuff like that. I will not be partaking in any of that because I don't like Rollerdrome very much.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry you played through it.
No, I mean it's fine. Like I did it for work, so it was one of those things where I was like,
well,
yeah. It was one of those things though where I was like really looking forward to this. I just don't think it plays very well. Basically, the idea is it is a roller skating game. Which, like, not a whole lot of those, I imagine. There's a lot of skateboarding and stuff like that, but roller skates, not even roller blades, like, that's kind of dope. It's like a roller skating game mixed with, like, a third-person shooter where you're skating around these, like, arenas, and you have to take out all of the different enemies. And you've got, like, you start off with 2 pistols, and then you get a shotgun and a grenade launcher and a rifle. And so, like, to reload, you need to do tricks on your skates. Like you got to do like flips and twists and grabs and grinds and all sorts of stuff to like reload your weapons, which basically means that like there's 2 parts of the game where you are on the offense when you're like, all right, time to fuck this guy up, and then when you're on the like asset acquiring when you're trying to like reload by like going off a ramp and doing a flip and stuff like that. But there's too much going on in it for me. Yeah, what's up?
So are you into like skateboarding, roller skating kind of games at all?
Not really. I think that's a problem.
Does this feel like it's one of those games with some shooting on it, or does it feel like something completely new and unique?
I guess it's hard for me to say because I haven't played a lot of skateboarding games. I mean, my most recent skateboarding game was Skatebird.
Dude, 10 out of 10.
And that game sucked.
That game was amazing.
That was, can I say, a big disappointment for me. It's kind of like half of the mechanics that you'd find in a game like that, and the other half of the game is devoted to the third-person shooting. Like, the shooting is not very deep. Like, you don't have to aim. Like, you just auto-aim. There's, like, a bullet time thing that you can, like... that you can kind of play around with, but like it's half of the mechanics you'd see in regular third-person shooter and half of the mechanics you'd see in a skateboarding sort of skating game. Does that make sense? I think people who like skateboarding games will like this. If you are a fan of skateboarding games and also shooters, like I think this is totally your thing. But for me, it was just like too much to really think about. But I also found that like the fact that you were being targeted by enemies and stuff like that kind of works against the idea of like doing thoughtful tricks and like really thinking about what you're doing, because a lot of the times like a sniper would get their sights on you right before you're about to do a jump, and it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to dodge out of the way of this, so it like stops you from doing your jump. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I just don't get to reload now, and now my combo is all fucked up and all that sort of stuff. So
I was expecting this game to be more of like just like an arena shooter kind of game, but like it's clearly like a story game that you can beat, right?
Yeah, so there's a campaign. And the story's kind of interesting. It's 2030, and like the United States has moved on to being like a privatized police state. Which, hey, we might get there. Give us 8 years here. And so like it's about that. Like that's in the background. It's what I'm trying to say. And like you are going through all these like media rooms and stuff. Basically, in between every like 4 levels or so, you have like a first person like walk around section where you're like in like a newsroom and stuff. Just like looking at the environment, and like you get like little notes on things, and so like the media is being told like, hey, don't focus on the protests and the riots and all that, like we're trying to focus on the like make sure that this is the big headline and everything. So it's kind of like the Hunger Games.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like a documentary of current day.
Yeah. And the main character, Kara Hassan, which is like cool name, very cool name. She's like very cool too. Like she doesn't have a personality. She doesn't say anything, but like she's got like this red jumpsuit and the red helmet. Like it's cool as fuck. She like is in debt like $300,000, and like if she wins, like this will like change her life and all this sort of stuff. The story is cool. The art, I think, is really striking. It really pops off the screen. I just don't like to play. I find it very frustrating. Because also there's like a lot of like, if you skate out of bounds, like you get hurt and you lose your combo. And there's just like a lot of out of bounds, like places to get out of bounds. And it's like well telegraphed, I suppose. But like I just found myself like I had the momentum and I was just moving that direction. And I was like, oh, well, shit. I just don't think it properly like eased you into its mechanics. Like the first level, you're like, okay, I kind of get this, and then the second level, it's like, well, what if 15 million people were shooting at you at one time? And it's like, yeah, that would be kind of hard, huh?
Yeah.
It gates off being able to do new levels. You have to complete set amounts of like the in-game challenges, which I got to a point where it said you need to complete 20 more challenges to move on, and I said, fuck you, Rollerdrome, and I went into the accessibility menu, and there's just an option to just turn that off. So I did that, and I finished the game, and I turned invincibility on because I was getting frustrated with the last level, and I said, thank you, Rollerdrome, for your time.
Well, again, I'm glad that the game has those accessibility features. I mean, things like that just to make the game what you need of it. And at that point, like, if anything, that saved you from having more frustration with the game.
It let me finish it, right?
Yeah.
There's also stuff in there, like there's invincibility, there's infinite ammo, there's you can slow the game speed down, which is something I always think is really great on something like this. So there you go.
That is cool. And is there a multiplayer mode, or is it just...
It's all just single player.
Okay.
Although it is like the multiplayer element of it is like just the leaderboards of like posting high scores and stuff like that.